The sea stretched endlessly, calm and blue, yet hiding a storm beneath. In the middle of that vastness, a single warship moved steadily across the waves, the USS Liberty. To most of her crew, it was just another patrol, another day enforcing freedom of navigation. But that morning, something in the air felt heavier, quieter, almost like the ocean itself was holding its breath. Inside the control room, soft radar beeps echoed. Ensign Carter leaned forward, eyes fixed on the glowing green screen. Multiple contacts closing in from the east, he reported. Commander Ryan Cooper turned his head slowly, his expression calm but sharp. Chinese Navy? He asked. Yes, sir, Carter replied. Type 052 destroyers, 5 of them. Distance, 20 nautical miles, closing fast. Cooper took a deep breath. Maintain course. We're in international waters. His tone was steady, but everyone on the bridge could feel the tension building. The hum of the ship seemed louder than usual, every sound sharper. Far away in Beijing, in a command center filled with dim red light, Admiral Zhao Cheng stared at a digital map of the South China Sea. A small blinking dot marked the American destroyer. The Americans are approaching our reef again, an officer said. Zhao didn't blink. Challenge them, he ordered. Make them turn back. Both commanders, thousands of miles apart, believed they were doing the right thing. Both were calm. Both were ready. Neither would back down. The South China Sea has always been a place of calm beauty and hidden fire. Beneath its waves lie riches, power, and pride. Over 1/3 of the world's trade moves through these waters, and every ship that passes silently adds to the tension between nations. For decades, the United States has sailed here freely, claiming to protect global navigation rights. China sees those same moves as intrusion, a test of their sovereignty. On the deck of the Liberty, sailors adjusted their gear and scanned the horizon. The morning sun hit the water like shards of glass. Then one of them pointed, dark shapes rising on the line where sky met sea. Chinese warships. Big. Fast. Getting closer. The first call came through the radio, voice deep and firm, crackling through static. This is the People's Liberation Army Navy. You are entering Chinese territorial waters. Turn back immediately. The radio officer looked at Commander Cooper. Cooper didn't hesitate. His reply came smooth and cold. This is the United States Navy vessel USS Liberty, operating lawfully in international waters. We will maintain course. Silence. No reply. Just the sound of the ocean wind and the low hum of engines. And then, a faint rumble. The Chinese ships accelerated. Through binoculars, their gray hulls shimmered under the sun, flags fluttering, guns glinting. Every man on the Liberty could feel it, that invisible tension in the air before lightning strikes. For a few moments, time slowed. The sea was calm, but the crew's hearts weren't. A young sailor whispered, "Sir, are they going to ram us?" Cooper didn't answer. His eyes were locked forward, jaw tight. The narrator's voice cuts in softly, heavy with meaning. In the vastness of the ocean, peace can vanish in a heartbeat. History doesn't always begin with explosions. Sometimes, it starts with silence and pride. As the sun began to dip and the horizon turned gold, two fleets faced each other with cold precision. One defending its pride, the other, its principles. The world slept, unaware that somewhere far across the sea, a spark was waiting to be lit. The sun climbed higher, burning white across the open sea. The waves shimmered like molten glass, but beneath that beauty, every man aboard the USS Liberty could feel it, the tension. It was the kind that crept under your skin, slow and silent. Chinese warships closing to 12 nautical miles, Ensign Carter reported again, voice a little tighter this time. The radar screen pulsed like a heartbeat. Commander Cooper stood with his arms crossed, eyes on the horizon. "Steady as she goes," he said quietly. "We hold our course." Minutes passed like hours. Then the first shapes appeared clearly now, gray giants slicing through the water, banners of red and gold flickering against the wind. 5 Chinese warships, closing in fast, moving like wolves circling prey. A young sailor swallowed hard. "Sir, they're hailing us again." The radio hissed with static before the voice came through, sharp and cold. "This is the People's Liberation Army Navy. You are violating Chinese sovereign waters. Turn back immediately or face defensive action." For a few seconds, no one spoke. Only the low hum of the ship filled the silence. Then Cooper's reply, calm and firm. This is the United States Navy destroyer USS Liberty. We are conducting lawful operations in international waters. We do not intend aggression. The radio went dead again. The silence felt louder than the ocean. Defensive action, a sailor muttered under his breath. The words echoed in the air like a curse. Outside, the water between the two fleets narrowed. The Chinese ships now visible in full, their guns angled, crews standing ready. The Liberty's sailors watched from their deck, hands hovering near controls but orders clear. No provocation, no fire, no panic. And then came the sound, a distant roar above the clouds. Fighter jets. Two Chinese J-15s swept across the Liberty's bow, leaving twin trails of smoke that cut through the sky like warnings. The shockwave rattled loose panels, sailors ducking instinctively. Jesus Christ, one of them gasped. They're showing off. Commander Cooper stayed silent. He'd seen this kind of intimidation before, the dance of power between nations. But this time, something felt off. The distance was too close, the moves too sharp. Inside the Chinese flagship, Captain Liu barked orders. Hold formation. Keep the Americans boxed. They will not cross the line. His voice was hard as steel. Around him, officers worked in perfect rhythm, disciplined, calm, and ready. Back on the Liberty, Cooper turned to his first officer. Get the cameras rolling. Everything that happens here, the world needs to see it. The narrator's voice slides in, low and grave. Both sides watched each other through binoculars and radar screens, every movement measured, every gesture recorded. The smallest spark could set the world ablaze. The Liberty held her course, slicing through the water like a blade through glass. The Chinese ships mirrored every move, step for step, refusing to back off. On the horizon, the sky darkened slightly, clouds gathering, wind shifting. Even nature seemed to sense what was coming. Then, without warning, a burst of red light shot into the sky, a flare. It hissed above the ocean, painting everything in crimson. Warning shot. A voice shouted. The crew rushed to the rails, watching as the flare burned out and vanished in smoke. Commander Cooper's hand tightened around the railing. They're testing us, he said under his breath. They want us to make the first move. The radio crackled again, the Chinese voice colder than before. You have been warned. Leave immediately. But the Liberty didn't turn. It couldn't. Orders were orders, and backing down wasn't an option. The ocean between them rippled with power. Waves crashed harder. The air was heavy, thick with something invisible but alive, fear, pride, and the kind of silence that comes before history is written. The narrator's voice returned, deep and tense. Sometimes, the deadliest battles aren't fought with missiles or guns. They're fought with patience, with pride, and with the belief that the other side will blink first. But in this ocean, no one blinked. As dusk approached, both fleets held position, motionless giants staring each other down across a restless sea. Every second felt like the last one before something broke. And somewhere deep in the ocean below, a sonar ping echoed, slow, haunting, like the heartbeat of the storm that was about to begin. Night fell over the South China Sea, but the darkness brought no calm. The ocean was restless, waves slamming against steel, wind howling like a warning that no one wanted to hear. The USS Liberty pushed through the rolling black water, her radar glowing in the dim bridge light. Every man aboard felt the pressure, like the ocean itself was holding its breath. Chinese ships now less than 3 nautical miles, Ensign Carter reported. His voice trembled slightly. Commander Cooper didn't answer. He just stared out at the dark horizon where faint lights moved. Too close, too deliberate. They're closing in, another voice said. Stay calm, Cooper replied. We won't be the ones to start this. But far across that same stretch of sea, aboard the Chinese flagship, Captain Liu had his own orders. His fleet had been told to defend the line, no matter the cost. Bring us closer, Liu commanded. If they won't turn back, we'll make them. The distance shrank. 2 ships, 2 nations, 2 worlds colliding in slow motion. And then, it happened. A blinding flash lit the water, not from guns, but from the sky. A Chinese flare misfired and exploded midair, its smoke drifting straight over the Liberty's deck. The American sensors went wild, mistaking it for a radar lock. Alarms blared through the ship. Missile lock detected. Countermeasures active. Someone shouted. The Liberty veered sharply, sirens echoing through the halls. Sailors grabbed onto rails as the deck tilted hard to port. The Chinese ships instantly responded, thinking the Americans were making a move. One of their destroyers turned sharply, too sharply, cutting right across the Liberty's bow. Collision warning. Brace. The two ships missed each other by barely 100 meters, a near disaster in pitch-black waters. For a second, the world froze. Then, silence. No one fired. No one spoke. Only the ocean roared between them, angry and endless. On the Liberty's bridge, Commander Cooper stood motionless, heart pounding. "Hold fire," he ordered, voice low but steady. No one fires. No one moves. And on the Chinese ship, Captain Liu gave the same order almost at the same moment. "Cease movement. Do not engage." Two commanders, two enemies, both knowing that one wrong second could have ended everything. The radio came alive again, but this time the tone was different. "This is the People's Liberation Army Navy, cease maneuvers. Maintain your distance." Cooper nodded slowly. "Copy that." The tension lingered in the air like smoke, heavy and choking. But the worst had passed. The narrator's voice comes in softly now, heavy with reflection. Sometimes, wars are avoided not by peace talks or treaties, but by the quiet choices of men who refuse to let pride decide the fate of millions. The Liberty steadied her course, turning slowly away from the reef. The Chinese ship stayed in formation, watching until the American destroyer disappeared into the darkness. Hours later, dawn broke again over the same ocean. The water was calm. Seabirds circled lazily in the golden light, as if nothing had ever happened. But every man who'd been there knew, something had changed forever. The narrator's voice deepens, final words echoing softly. No shots fired. No lives lost. But the message was clear, the line had been drawn. And somewhere out there, beneath those calm blue waves, both sides still waited, watching, preparing. Because peace, in these waters, is never more than one mistake away.